Welcome to another edition of Points of Interest, brought to you by the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. My name is Paul Boucher. I'm the President and CEO of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. And as we do each week, we present you with the activities going on in the Upper Valley for the coming week and have a guest to speak about a particular project program that they're involved in. And this week is no different. We have Rick Maynard, who is going to be talking to us about Toys for Tots. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having us.
So, beginning this week, as we warm up toward the Christmas day, we have a lot of activities going on. We have on all week long, we have the Upper Valley Crafters. One is in Enfield, and they run Wednesday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., up until December 23rd. They're located at 495 Route 4 in Enfield. And then there's the Lebanon Art and Craft Association in West Lebanon, and they are at 66 Benning Street. That is right behind Shaw's Supermarket, and they're there from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, 6 p.m. on Sunday. All local gifts made by local crafters, and sometimes it's nice to get a gift that was made locally by a crafter locally, and so people appreciate it. We have also Christmas illuminations in Enfield. That is Lights at La Salette. They run from 5 to 9 p.m. Daily. And in addition, began 2 years ago, they have a whole building of over 400 nativity scenes. This one priest had collected those over the years and retired and had no place to put them, actually, so he's got a whole building out there in Enfield, and they're from all over the world, and they're really gorgeous. So you have the illuminations, the lights, and the nativity scenes that they have out there. 7 days a week, 5 to 9 p.m. Mary Poppins is playing in White River at the Barrett Center for the Arts, and that's put on by Northern Stage. Those are at 7:30 p.m. Every evening this week. Gorgeous brand new venue for them in the old Miller Auto building, if you remember where that was. And they've got a beautiful theater in there that's just completed and just opened up. And then we have over in West Lebanon also performances at the Kilton Library. Somebody's doing a reading, and that's on Thursday at noontime over at the Kilton Library. We have a farmer's market. Just because the ground's frozen probably and you don't think there's any produce left, the Lebanon farmers markets have moved indoors, and they one Saturday a month indoors at the Upper Valley Senior Center from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And plenty of produce that they have they put aside for these particular sales on Saturday. We also have Amal and the Night Visitors in Lebanon. This is on Saturday, 5 p.m. Performance. Opera story of three foreign kings who encounter a young disabled shepherd is the gist of the program. The event is at, again, 5 p.m. on Saturday, Lebanon Opera House, $10 admission, and it's Arlen, the Night Visitors in Lebanon. So those are some of the activities going on in the Upper Valley this week as we get closer and closer to Christmas. Also, if you're looking for Christmas trees, Boy Scout troop from Cornish is selling trees right here on the green, and proceeds go to the activities of the Boy Scouts. So Saturday and Sunday, you can pick up a fresh tree right here on the green in Lebanon. We welcome Rick Maynard from Toys for Tots, and I was at your pickup station this morning, and it was wild, to say the least.
Yep.
When did Toys for Tots start?
1948 officially.
Wow.
Yep. It was started in 1946 and 47. Not as Toys for Tots. It was a Major Hendricks, Bill Hendricks in Los Angeles. He and his a reserve unit collected and fixed up bikes and gave them out in the community. And then they expanded that in 47 to giving out toys. They gave out 5,000 toys. The Marine Corps saw this and saw it as a real good way to give back to the community, so they adopted it. Walt Disney actually designed our 3-train logo, and there's a bunch of notables that have lent their talents and their time to promote Toys for Tots. In 1992, Barbara Bush was the official national spokesperson, and in her autobiography, she listed Toys for Tots as one of her favorite charities. Nationally, they did, let me see if I can read this number here, 486,800,000 toys, helping 13,300,000 children.
Wow. This is U.S. wide.
Nationally,
Wow.
yeah. And there's
National-wide,
also a
yeah.
program in Guam. They were going to go into Guam and put in a base. So 2 years preceding this, they sent a Toys for Tots program in to get the win over the hearts and minds of the locals.
Oh, wonderful.
And
We-
we've
and I
been
really-
here since 1999.
Here. I want to mention though too that it's the Marine Corps Reserve that
It's
run
an
this
actual
program.
mission. Yep.
That's when you
And
national.
what happened was with Congress doing all the cutbacks, they weren't reaching the number of program or children that they wanted to. So they, in a way to access more distribution, they turned it over and allowed the Marine Corps League detachments to get involved. That's how we're involved. We meet every first Thursday over at the Soldiers Building here
Oh, yes.
by Rogers House. The last time they did it strictly as a Marine Corps Reserves, they had 65 programs nationwide.
Wow.
This year they've got 878.
Excellent.
So they're back to reaching the numbers that they need to.
And Lebanon got involved in what year?
1999.
99.
I took over as a coordinator in 2003.
2000.
I've been the coordinator since. Last year we did 7,150 children and gave out over 60,000 toys.
Wow. Here in Lebanon.
Right here in this
Wow.
area, Upper
Wow.
Valley. Yep.
So you have one location
For distribution.
for
But
distribution.
we have over 180 to 200 collection boxes
Collection
out in
boxes.
local businesses.
Okay.
And it's truly a community supported campaign. I have to give a shout out about Hypotherm. They've been working with us. Oh God, let me see. They started back in 2004. The employee goes in, punches the clock at Hypotherm, turns around, comes out the door, and comes over and volunteers for us. They send 2 to 4 a day, depending on how many we need. Like today, there's 4 of them over there working, and they're on Hypotherm's clock. This year, King Arthur Flour has started doing the same thing, and Bob Nadeau, the public relations guy at King Arthur, was a little concerned that not very many people are volunteering, and I explained to him it's going to take probably a year or so. It'll catch on, and it'll snowball. RSD, they store all our toys for us. They truck them back and forth. We do have toys that are left over, but you got to understand, we can't do 7,000 children in a week.
That's right. Well, yes.
We need to have toys in reserve, and we also we have the foundation's permission to help anytime throughout the year where a toy would help a child in an emergency.
Oh.
This past summer I did 10 families. The year before we did 22 for fires primarily.
Oh, yeah.
But any emergency that arises where a toy would help a child, we're there.
So your pickup station is on the Miracle Mile, right behind
410
Hubert's?
Miracle Mile, right next door to Hubert's, behind the Field of Vision Eye Care.
Yeah. And there's a procedure.
What we normally do is we ask our clients to, well, because a lot of these agencies have to shut their lists off so early to get everything all set up, we ask the agencies to send their clients directly to us so that we can help them with toys.
These are social service agencies?
Correct.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. And what we do is I ask them to call like the Haven or the Listen to get a referral to us. And the reason I do that is if there's any, not to give them a runaround, if there's any other services that they may be eligible for, they get hooked into it.
Ah.
And then they get the referral to come to us. We always ask that they call before they come, 603-448-4838, just to make sure our volunteers are there. And if there's every once in a while we'll run low in a certain category, and so that they're not coming in for nothing, we check on what they have for the ages of their children. We do infant up to 18 as long as they're in school, and no age limit for special needs children. And if that particular age group happens to be low, we'll ask them to hold off until they can come in and get something that's there appropriate for their age children.
So no, it's not a walk-in.
No.
You have to get a referral from.
Correct.
And you mentioned some of the agencies.
Yes, primarily it's the Listen and the Haven that we work with. The state agencies, for one reason or another, they don't really work as a referral for us because they have their own clients and they have to go through whatever paperwork requirements they have, and they don't feel that it's appropriate.
Is there a limitation in what people can take?
Well, we give out
You don't
two
give 'em a
nice
big bag?
gifts. Well, each child in the family gets two nicer gifts. That
Okay.
could be a stock arts and craft type gift or a toy, or they can be both arts and craft type gifts. We let the parents pick them out
Okay.
themselves because they know their children. Some girls would rather have remote control truck than a doll, so we want them to be happy. So they get two nicer gifts. They get 4 stocking stuffers. They get a stuffed animal. They get a book, and then they get a family game or a puzzle for the family
Which is quite a bit per child.
per child.
Per child.
Yeah.
Any particular area that you
Teenagers.
You.
Teenagers.
Oh no, that's not where I was going.
Oh.
But that you lean on, that gifts that you might, is it books that you're.
Books are hard, and
Okay.
teenagers. And this year, 6 to 9 girls, 6 to 9-year-old girls. Yeah.
That's your category.
Strange.
So,
Yeah.
so if anybody is.
If anybody's thinking about donating
Yeah.
teenager gifts and 6 to 9-year-old girls.
Is the area.
Yep.
Okay. And teenagers, because you mentioned, yes, because you're till
Yeah.
18 on your
Yep.
thing.
And we're only allowed, per the foundation's requirement or regulations, we can only spend up to $30 per gift. And there's a lot of things out there that you can get. One popular gift is fishing poles and toolkits.
Oh,
Blow dryers, hair irons, curling irons. I've really learned a lot about gifts for
yeah.
children doing that.
Since you've been in the business.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're saying $30 is what you're trying to
Maximum.
allocate?
Yeah,
or-
with cash donations.
Oh, okay.
I put it into a clearinghouse, and I have like a debit card. It's
Oh,
a
okay.
MasterCard, and then as a particular age group would get low,
Yeah.
I'll raise down. And I have jobbers that I could order through, but the money is donated locally, and I really would much rather spend it locally
Sure.
to help the local economy. And so that's the way I do it. I mean, I could probably get fishing poles a little cheaper, but I just prefer to spend it
Sure,
locally.
sure. Yeah, that's wonderful. So you do take cash donations in addition to gifts?
Cash checks, yep,
Okay.
made out to Toys for Tots,
Okay.
and it just blows me away on how supportive the
Yeah.
Upper Valley is to this program. Yeah. Now the foundation, they will send, and they've sent me over 12,000 gifts this year. And if I get in a crunch where I'm not getting the donations that I need, I send them an email telling them exactly what I need, and within 4 or 5 days it's there.
And the foundation is who?
Toys for Tots, and
Oh.
located in Alexandria, Virginia.
Oh, so it is a nonprofit.
It's a 501(c)(3), yes, sir.
Oh, it is.
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
Yep,
to know.
nonprofit.
Yeah.
And 97 cents of every dollar donated is spent directly on toys.
On a choice with that.
Yep.
Yeah. So here we are, 2 weeks before Christmas, and so people are now coming into.
They have.
So
been
you've got them
since-
coming in one door, the gifts, and out the next.
Correct. Yep. Come in the
And,
back and out the front.
Yeah. And sorters, we're sorting them by
Volunteers.
the categories.
Yep.
The volunteers.
From Hypertherm King Arthur Flour.
Do you need other volunteers?
We can always use volunteers.
Okay, and some too, because you mentioned the number of locations that you have.
Yeah, we have route drivers that
You have route drivers. Okay.
Bob, well, he's retired now, but Bob Therian, he heads up the route distribution, getting the boxes out,
Okay.
and the collections. And
Okay.
then once they come in the door, our volunteers take over. Everything is counted in and counted out, and it reported to the foundation. At the end of the year, or at the end of the program, I have what's called an after-action report that covers everything that we've done, total donations and total toys in, total toys out, and what we have in reserve. And our space is donated, our electricity and our heat's all donated. That comes from a real estate company out of Portland, Maine, and this is our 3rd year being there. Prior to this, we were at the Old Wilson Tire Building.
Oh, yes.
If
Which
I
is
hadn't
no longer
been-
there.
Correct. It's gone in big time.
Yeah.
But we were in there for 6 years while they were going through their zoning and
Yeah.
application to build. But they were great to us. I can't think of the guy's name, and it makes me mad.
Oh.
He was great. And he even bought our insurance. It wasn't up until 4 or 5 years ago. We now have a balloon policy. I couldn't get insurance, and in the space that I'm in now, I couldn't be there without insurance.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get an agency to write a policy for a month and a half. They're like,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to heat.
Yeah,
We
it'd be
don't write them
expensive.
that short.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So now
you-
we're all set.
So you're open to cash donations?
Yes, sir.
And they can drop them off at
Right at the 410 Miracle Mile.
410 Miracle Mile. And I don't care, if you've got that many locations, that drop-offs, it's probably hard not to find one if you're shopping in the Upper Valley.
Yeah. Yeah, they're everywhere.
yeah, I'm
they're
sure
in the Powerhouse Mall.
Okay. I'm just
Now,
gonna-
don't confuse the Red Barrels. That's a different program.
right.
We're the white box with the
Yeah.
Marine Corps emblem on it.
yeah.
Toys for Tots.
And I'm sure there must be anywhere on 12A.
Oh, yeah,
And,
yes.
and
Yep.
I've seen some at the local bank branches. And things like
Mascoma
that.
Bank's got them, and Sugar River, and the
So again,
Service Credit.
the age group that you need.
teenagers and girls 6 to 9,
Okay, so
and
those
books,
and books that you're
Yeah.
in the package too.
and not coloring books. I just got a very good shipment of coloring books with crayons and paints from the foundation. It's reading books.
Reading that you're
Yep.
looking for. So up until what time of the month will you?
We
be-
go right up to the 22nd, and I have been called out on Christmas Day.
Have you? Okay.
And
so-
our collections will end on the 22nd. The boxes will be
On that-
pulled in.
Okay, and
But we'll still be at 410 Miracle Mile right up till Christmas Eve.
and then whatever's left over you store till
Store it up
next
at
day.
RSD,
Yeah.
and that gives me access for any emergencies that come up through the summer.
Great program. And Marine Corps, a little bit about the reserves, Lee. Are you all retired Marines?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, and Corpsman, MF, Navy.
Oh, and Navy also.
Navy
Okay.
supplies all our medics for us.
And how
And-
many in your group here locally in Lebanon?
We have we have a large membership roster.
Okay.
But it's like a lot of the other organizations. There's a handful that attend the meetings every
Yeah.
month, and we have actually there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 or 5 league members because they're all working that actually help volunteer at the distribution center. Most of our help are volunteers from Hypotherm and
For
King
the-
Arthur
for the summer.
Flower
Yeah.
that do the actual work.
So if there's any,
Anybody bored out there and wants
yeah.
something to do, come on down. We'll be glad to put you to work. And then after this program's all over, everything's got to be
Packaged.
palletized and wrapped and packaged to be shipped over to RSD till next year.
for next year. Excellent. Well, Rick,
And we got started in, I think our first toys went out around November 12th.
oh, that early?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
But as I mentioned, I stopped by this morning and it's
We're doing
it's a
about
wonder how you
Over 200 kids a day.
Yeah, in and out, and the things are coming
Yeah.
in, and so it's excellent.
Yes.
Well, Rick, we thank you very much for being with us.
We thank you for having us.
and
I appreciate the exposure.
hope we get some
Merry Christmas out there.
some gifts and some cash to Rick and make some kids happy this Christmas.
That'd be great, and it all stays locally. Now, locally is by definition, your toys might end up down in Charlestown or Walpole, but I can guarantee you they're not going to Massachusetts or Connecticut.
So they're all local.
They're right
Excellent.
here.
Good.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Rick. That's another edition of Points of Interest, brought to you by the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. My name is Paul Boucher, and we'll be back next week with another program. Until then.